This is Trend Following Radio, where great thinking comes alive. Nobel Prize winners, legendary traders, best-selling authors, and the pros that know what drive us irrational human beings. I am your host, Michael Covel. Not filtered, raw, honest. That's my passion. I saw Van Halen years ago, 1984, at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. General admission. They opened the concert with Panama. David Lee Roth jumped off the drum riser, did the splits in midair, landed, touched his toes doing the splits, landed, and started singing the song Panama. One of the best musical experiences ever. I don't remember anything except that opening. And the background of the stage was just Marshall amps, floor to ceiling, nothing else. I look at my nephews today and I say, God, they're never gonna feel that exactly. And music today is just something else. You know, you go to these EDM festivals and you stand around and drop ecstasy and kiss each other. Okay, that's a side tangent. It ain't my cup of tea. Here's where I want to go today. First, I want to start with something that I think is really great. It was a press conference given by a professional quarterback in the National Football League. Tony Romo, Dallas Cowboys quarterback, 36 years of age, has played for a long time, has never won the Super Bowl, been an all-star, been an all-pro. Hell of a quarterback. A lot of big-time stats. I don't think anybody thinks this guy is not a gamer. I've seen him win plenty of games in the last minute. So he was set to quarterback his team this year, the Dallas Cowboys, but he got hurt in the preseason. And a fourth-round draft pick. I think Mississippi State, Mississippi State, fourth-round draft pick, Dak Prescott, came in while Romo's injured and has now led the Cowboys to an 8-1 record. Romo, for those of you that don't know, is a white quarterback. Dak Prescott, for those of you that don't know, is a black quarterback. It's not such a big deal in the NFL these days. But look, the Cowboys have always been America's team. So it's just kind of an interesting little nugget to put into the side pocket as you listen to this press conference. Now, this is Tony Romo acknowledging now that Dak Prescott has led the Cowboys to an 8-1 record. And even now that Romo is healthy, he's not going to play quarterback for the Cowboys anytime soon, unless Prescott gets hurt. Let me play this press conference. Just a few minutes, but worthy of the listen.
To say the first half of the season has been emotional would be a huge understatement. Getting hurt when you feel like you have the best team you've ever had was a soul-crushing moment for me. Then to learn it's not 3 or 4 weeks, but 10 is another blow. And through it all, you have a tremendous amount of guilt on having let your teammates, fans, and organization down. After all, they were depending on you to bring them a championship. That's what quarterbacks are supposed to do. That's how we're judged. I loved that. I still do. But then here you are, sidelined without any real ability to help your teammates win on the field. That's when you're forced to come face to face with what's happening. Seasons are fleeting. Games become more precious. Chances for success diminish. Your potential successor has arrived, injured 2 years in a row, and now in the mid-30s. The press is whispering, everyone has doubts. You've spent your career working to get here. Now we have to start all over. You almost feel like an outsider. The coaches are sympathetic, but they still have to coach, and you're not there. It's a dark place. Probably the darkest it's ever been. You're sad and down and out, and you ask yourself, why did this have to happen? It's in this moment that you find out who you really are and what you're really about. You see, football is a meritocracy. You aren't handed anything. You earn everything, every single day, over and over again. You have to prove it. That's the way that the NFL, that's the way that football works. A great example of this is Dak Prescott and what he's done. He's earned the right to be our quarterback. As hard as that is for me to say, he's earned that right. He's guided our team to an 8-1 record, and that's hard to do. If you think for a second that I don't want to be out there, then you've probably never felt the pure ecstasy of competing and winning. That hasn't left me. In fact, it may burn more now than ever. It's not always easy to watch. I think anybody who's been in this position understands that. But what is clear is that I was that kid once. Stepping in, having to prove yourself. I remember the feeling like it was yesterday. It really is an incredible time in your life. And if I remember one thing from back then, it's the people that helped me along when I was young. And if I can be that to Dak, I've tried to be, and I will be going forward. I think you all know something magical is happening to our team. I'm not going to allow this situation to negatively affect Dak or this football team by becoming a constant distraction. I think Dak knows that I have his back, and I think I know that he has mine. Ultimately, it's about the team. It's what we've preached our entire lives. I can remember when I was a kid just starting out and wanting to be a part of something bigger than myself. For every high school kid out there or college player, there's greatness in being the kind of teammate who truly wants to be part of a team. Everyone wants to be the reason they're winning or losing. Every single one of us wants to be that person. But there are special moments that come from a shared commitment to play your role while doing it together. That's what you'll remember. Not your stats or your prestige, but the relationships and the achievement that you created through a group. It's hard to do, but there's great joy in that. And all the while, your desire burns to be the best you've ever been. You can be both. I figured that out in this process. It's what separates sports from everything else. It's why we love it. It's why we trust it. It's why I still want to play and compete. Lastly, I just want to leave you with something I've learned in this process as well. I feel like we all have two battles or two enemies going on. One with the man across from you. The second is with the man inside of you. I think once you control the one inside of you, the one across from you really doesn't matter. And I think that's what we're all trying to do. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
What a classy fucking presentation. Even if you don't know a damn thing about American football, even if you don't care, even if you've never followed any of the soap opera of the National Football League, forget about sport. You could instantly tell the way that he handled himself is unique. It's special. I mentioned he's white. I mentioned the quarterback that took his position is black. I watched this nonstop racial bullshit that encompasses America. And it is 100% engineered bullshit. There will never be perfection in anything. But to think, to say, to imagine that somehow or another opportunity is limited or constricted today in 2016 in America because the color of your skin, that's an excuse. That's 100% an excuse. I love that Romo uses the phrase meritocracy. We've gotten so far away from that thinking. So many people want a father figure, a daddy government to take care of them, to tuck them in at night, to make them feel good, to promise them they'll be all right. And we've got a media that just sits there and says that this is achievable. They say it 24/7. whispering it into your ear. Oh yeah, there's somebody out there. They can help you. They can make it all better. Just vote for them. Follow them. America just went through one of the most amazing election cycles ever. Literally, 50% of Americans said, I'm not voting on policy. I'm rolling the dice because I'm tired of the establishment. I'm tired of the deep state. I'm tired of crony capitalism. They said we will take a chance on a guy who's never done this before. Because in many ways, what he was saying at those rallies that were never really covered by CNN, what he was saying, and I'm not saying he's a perfect man. None of us are perfect. But what he was saying was really exactly what Romo was saying. That same tone, that same work ethic. At his best, the president of the United States, any president of any country, should not be about more laws, should not be about controlling you. The president of the United States, at his best, should be about standing there, looking at you and telling you, I'm going to get out of your way so you can compete, so you can do it, so you can make it happen. Because the thrill of achievement, that's the special taste of life. Nobody wants to be sitting there waiting for daddy to give them a cookie. If you do want daddy to give you a cookie, you've lost your fucking mind. I saw the other day that the University of Michigan Law School, post the election, to supposedly help grieving law students, put together an event where law students, now mind you, they've already gone through college, they're now in law school, could play with Play-Doh and coloring books to ease their anxiety. You've got to be fucking kidding me. What is happening to society that this has become normal? This is normal. That's why I wanted to play that Romo press conference today, because what Romo said has become abnormal. We don't hear that message anymore. We don't hear the president talk like that. Any president talk like that. We hear presidents tell us how they're going to take care of us, how they're going to tuck us in at night, perhaps give us a peck on the cheek, a gentle tug, a gentle hug, a gentle something that frankly makes me sick to my stomach. I love that Romo said that the guy that took his position has earned the right to be the quarterback. Pure class to say that. Oh, but I thought race relations in America were terrible. CNN tells me that we've got KKK members wandering the streets all across America. Hey, guess what? To the rest of the world, we don't. CNN has become an uncontrollable propaganda arm that's frightening. Yeah, and that's political coming from me. Because I think Tony Romo, the white quarterback, saying that Dak Prescott, the black quarterback, has earned the right to have his position that he's had for a decade. There's the optimistic view of race relations in America today. Much of the other stuff, it's engineered, it's fake, it's not real. And even if it was real, who wants that? Nobody wants that. Everybody wants what Romo and Prescott have, which is competition. Everybody wants to earn it. And if you forgot what it feels like to earn it on the field, if you forgot what it feels like to hit a home run, to make something happen, the big trade, the big business, the big deal, if you forgot that, You need to find a way to get it back, and fast. Because as of right now, they've not figured out this life extension stuff. So you can sit around, get fat, waiting for some government bureaucrat to feed you, to medicate you, to put you in the matrix tube where you shall sit until the day you die. So that was actually just a tangent to where I want to go today. Well, it wasn't exactly a tangent. It's a main thrust of what I was thinking today. But it works me into another topic area, the current market situation, the current stock market situation. Because the night of the election, we saw volatility that we have not seen for years. The Dow dropped overnight over 700 points as it became clear that Trump was going to win. That's not exactly surprising, because every prognosticator, analyst, mathematician, statistician, every Nate Silver and Nate Silver acolyte. And if you want a little side project, go read what Nassim Taleb has to say about Nate Silver. It ain't good. The last thing any of us need to be doing is giving our hopes and desires over to some guy running a black box. And Nate Silver's running a black box. A black box that none of us can learn from. But it's not surprising the Dow dropped that 700 points in the overnight session once it became clear that Trump was going to be the president. All those people that I just mentioned, they were pushing for well over a year the impossibility that Trump could ever be president. Now look, a simple moving average pretty much told you where Trump was going all along. But the predictors, the forecasters, the crystal ball types, they built so much anxiety and fear into the idea of a Trump as president that once he won, well, they had to push the market down. They had to try and create a crash. We will probably never know, but it looked like the powers that be, and those powers that be did not want Trump as president, attempted to create a major panic. And here's the funny thing about markets. It didn't work. Trump as president-elect, and the markets have rallied. U.S. stock markets have rallied. The dollar has rallied. Now, this doesn't make any sense. If I've been following the narrative for the last year, there's absolutely no way we cannot be going Mad Max already with Trump as president. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Your trading strategy, your investing strategy can't be predicated on who is president. Your exit strategy is not predicated on who is president. You follow the trend to the end when it bends, and that's all you can do. I had great fun watching the election over the last year. I'm sure many people saw my commentary. The election results are not a surprise to me at all. Clearly, something was brewing in America. Bernie Sanders alone probably was more of an indicator than Donald Trump's win that there was a problem. Because 50% of the Democratic Party said we do not want a mobster as our nominee. They said it loud and clear. So yeah, it's fun to watch all the politics, the up and down, the machinations. But how the hell do you trade off any of that? You don't. So they said the markets would crash if Trump won, and they didn't. Who are they? That should be the question, the thought that you have right now. Figuring out who they are and why did they want you to think that for so long. The crystal balls don't work. None of that works. The only thing that works religiously over the decades are to follow trends. Not to predict trends, not to forecast trends. Plenty of people talk like that with no evidence of their success. But in my world, this trend following world, fantastic examples of how following that trend can work wonders. I love that Tony Romo press conference. That is an optimistic, dead-on way that we should all be. I love that Trump pulled off an upset. I love to see outsiders win. I love to see the system take a hit on the chin. And when it comes to the markets, please, 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 if the Trump election proved anything, these people that you see on TV, in the newspaper, nonstop, 24/7, have no fucking idea what they're talking about. And if you listen to them and make bets with your money on what they say, you are going to lose your money. Oh, you might win the first time. You might win the second time, maybe the third time. And you get cocky and you're going to bet more. And that fourth or fifth time, you lose it all. That is not a plan. The best in the business do not do it that way, and you shouldn't do it that way. Now, of course, I know human nature. I know how this works. People will forget all of the prognosticators, the market prognosticators that talked about the end of the world, that if Trump won, people will forget all of that soon enough. Wash, rinse, repeat. The cycle will repeat. And if you know that this cycle will repeat, if you know that the human condition is so weak emotionally that it will make the same mistakes day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year, decade after decade, if you know this and you lock yourself into a systematic approach, a trend following approach, you absolutely create the best chance for long-term money-making success. Hands down. It's not even a debate. I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.